Hi, today we will learn Dutch or Netherlands about drink from orange and other kind of fruit and mix of other stuff. Let's start it. First of all, in Indonesia, when we say juice, it is more into blender juice, so we also drink the fleshy or the flesh of the fruit. We don't strain it. But in the Netherlands or in America or abroad, when we say juice, is the clear one or the liquid one, because you kind of strained it, so you don't drink the mousse or the puree. In Indonesia, it's more into blender juice, but in other countries like USA or Netherlands, more into clear juice or liquid one. But lately, when we say juice, mostly when you make it by yourself, you also drink the puree, or you don't filter it, you don't strain it. Orange juice in Dutch is sinaasappelsap. Juice is sap. Orange is sinaasappel. Sinaas is China. China, so it's apple from China. Sinaasappel. Sap. Orange juice. But in Dutch, you put it in one word. Tomato, tomaat. Tomato juice, tomatensap. One word. Pineapple juice, ananassap. Grape juice, druivensap. One word. Popsicle is ice lolly. Ice, lolly. But we write it in one word, ice lolly. If you want to say with this fruit, this is watermelon, but in Dutch you read it as watermeloen. Or strawberry, aardbei. Watermeloen ice lolly or aardbei ice lolly. You cannot put something as sap if it's not 100% fruit, made from fruit. Because if it's not 100%, you have to call it with other words. Which is, for example, this one, drank is drink. So, fruit drink. Vruchten, drank. One word. Drank is drink. Vruchten is fruit. Or you can also say it as fruit drink. So you can say drink or drank, or this one is fruit drink. We will go here first. In Dutch, syrup is siroop. This one is raspberry, frambozen, syrup, raspberry syrup. But in Dutch, you put it in one word. There's interesting fact that in Indonesia, strawberry is strawberry, in Dutch is arbay. But in Indonesia, we also have arbay. But arbay is raspberry, or in Dutch is frambozen. And in English is syrup, in Dutch siroop. In Indonesia, the formal one is siroop, but the informal one, or we say it often, syrup. I will go back here. So sometimes you get the ingredients when it's not 100% fruit. We can see that it's drink, met, with. And then I put the dots here right next to the word, because it will be one word. You put fruit here, any kind of that you think it will be make the drink. It will be one word together with this one, extract. And you put the fruit, any kind of, with this one, smaak, taste or flavor. Sometimes in Dutch, you can find mixed flavors that I found it interesting. Sometimes I try. Duo, drank, duo, drink. For example, sinaasappel and perzik, orange and peach. Perzik. In Indonesian language, you just have to change this Z into S, but we read it instead of perzik, we read it as persik. Yes, peach. Or sometimes orange, sinaasappel, and banana. Or mango. This one we read it same like in English, mango. And Juanabana. Sometimes Juanabana, but sometimes it's also zuurzak, one word. Zuurzak. In English, sour sop. Zuur, sour. Zak is bag. Yeah. Bag. Pack. Bag. Zuurzak. Bag or pack. That's sour. Zuur. Zuurzak. Or sack. In English, we also have a sack. In Indonesian language, sirsak. As we can see here, we put sap. It becomes one word. Vruchten, sap. Fruit juice. Met, with. And then the dots here, close or next to the word after, because we will put it in one word. After you put any kind of fruit that you want to put it here. It's made of the fruit and then sap, juice, or puree, or sap, juice again. You can say sap when it's 100% made of or from fruit. And sometimes we also, instead of using this or this, we use this. Apple nectar. Same with English, nectar. Fruit drink. Out from. Sap concentrate, one word. Sap is juice, concentrate, one word. Vrucht, gehalte, the percentage or the amount of fruit. Ten minste, at least. 50%, 50%. That's why we cannot call it as sap, because it's 50%. Even though if you make it from concentrate or from the concentrate or the extract, and then you add water, they do the calculation if it's really make 100% like real fruit. When they add the liquid one, not much more than the natural one, it means it still can be called as sap. So they count on the concentrate and how much water if they want to make it the liquid again. But if they add much more water that is needed, you cannot call it as sap anymore. And now we will go to this one. When you have orange juice, sometimes you have with pulp, sometimes without. With is matte. The pulp itself, sometimes you call it as pulp, sometimes you call it as vruchtvlees. If without, you say it, or you read it as zonder, without. Sachet, zakje. Zak can be sack or bag or pack, but you add the y, so it's a small one, small bag, small pack, small sack, zakje. And powder, poeder. Spoon is lepel, but sometimes we use small one, so we add the ch, lepel ch, small spoon. Straw in Dutch is rietje. Riet is the plant, reed in English, in Dutch riet, but it's a small one, rietje. So, straw in Dutch, rietje. A version of small reed. Artificial sweetener, kunstmatige, one word. Kunst itself is art or fake or artificial. Kunstmatige, artificial. Zoet, sweet. Zoetstoffen, sweetener. Kunstmatige zoetstoffen, artificial sweetener. And now in English you have cloudy apple juice. In Dutch we have troebel appelsap. Apple juice, you put it in 2 words. In Dutch, 1 word, appelsap. Cloudy, troebel. And moose, puree, it's the same in English. You have also the same. We'll go here. Apple sap, apple juice. Apple compote, in Dutch, the same, but you put it in 1 word. Apple compote. This one also the same, but in Dutch you put in 1 word. Apple puree. Or you have the version, the sauce or the puree the version of Dutch version, Dutch style, we name it as appelmoes, or we can translate it as apple sauce. In English, you can put it into one word or separate it into two words. Appelmoes, apple puree, apple compote, apple sap. And we also have apple pie in English or apple tart, but most of the time we call it as apple pie. In Dutch is apple taart, one word for apple pie. Even though the tart itself is cake. So if you say apple tart, it means apple pie. But if you say tart, it means cake. In Indonesian language, we have tart or kue tart. Sometimes we use the kue, cookie, but when you say kue tart, it means cake. If you say tart, it's also cake. Similar with Dutch or same with Dutch, tart, cake. But this is not a formal one, because a formal one is bolu. But we use this for for a really long time, tart, cake. But it's not a formal one. The formal one is bolu, to say cake. And they have pastel color and they have pastel food in Portugal and in other countries. In Indonesia, we also have the food pastel. Sometimes we say pastel. Sometimes we say it with kue, cookie, even though it's not cookie, but we say it with kue pastel, or just pastel. Or sometimes we also add the goreng, fried, pastel goreng, fried pastel. In other countries, we call it also as pastel, but in Dutch, we call it as pastai. Pastai. In Indonesia, pastel. In Dutch, pastai. Last one, paper cup, papieren beker. Paper cup. Cup made of paper. Papieren. Or we can also say it like this one, wegooi beker. Weg is go, or can also away, can also road. Gooi, throw. Beker, cup. One word, wegooi beker. Or the plastic one, you can say plastic beker. Plastic beker. Or the disposable one, wegwerp. Wegwerp, plastic beker. Disposable plastic cup. Thank you. Hi, today we will learn Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia about orange juice and juice, because I kind of figured out that the juice that we have in Indonesia is kind of different when you have to say juice in English. Most juice in Indonesia, it comes in blender juice. It means we drink the pulp. We don't strain the pulp. We drink the pulp. So the juice in Indonesia, juice is more into blender juice than fruit juice. Of course, it's made from fruit, but we also drink the pulp. We don't strain or we don't filter. So, most of the time, juice is blender juice, including the pulp. We don't filter, we don't strain. That's why it's a bit different when you have to say orange juice. We say it as air jeruk because most of the time we don't drink the pulp and we don't use blender to make orange juice. We don't use the blender. That's why most of the time we say orange juice as air jeruk because it's water or air from jeruk, orange. Air is water, jeruk is orange. So here you have the orange, water from orange. Sometimes purely water from orange, air jeruk. Sometimes we add some water, a little bit, so the price will be cheaper. Air jeruk, also air jeruk. And if you want to be too specific to say it's cold, we add the ice. S. Ice is S. Specifically cold orange juice. Es jeruk. This one we probably already learned about this in a previous video a long time ago, but it's okay. Gula, sugar. Gula. Spoon, sendok. In Indonesia, we also have hot or warm orange juice. Hot, panas. Warm, hangat. Air jeruk panas. Hot orange juice or air jeruk hangat. Warm orange juice. You might think it's a bit unusual, but we have. Some of us like it warm or hot. I don't know why, but yeah. And that's why this juice jeruk is kinda bit rare, because to make it juice you have to put it in a blender, and we also drink the pulp. For orange juice, most of the time we use these words. But for others, because of course like for alpukat or avocado, strawberry, nanas, pineapple, melon, we have to put in the blender, and we also drink including the pulp. It becomes blender juice, so we can say it as juice alpukat or juice strawberry, juice nanas, juice melon, because with the pulp and the form is in blender juice. So for orange juice, most of the time we use these words. And for flavored drink, minuman rasa jeruk. Most of the time, if it's not in blender juice, we say it as minuman. Is from minum or drink, but if you want to make it as drink, as noun, we add the suffix an, minuman. Minuman buah. I don't have the buah word, but buah it means fruit. So if it's not blender juice, we say it as minuman buah melon, or minuman buah strawberry, or minuman melon, or minuman strawberry, minuman buah nanas. It means the drink is made from melon fruit or nanas, pineapple fruit. Because specifically when you say blender juice for blender juice, if there's no pulp, in Indonesia is not juice, but is minuman of some kind of fruit. If it's not, if it's from sachet powder, so it's not real or extract from fruit, but it's comes from powder. In English, melon flavored drink, for example, we have to add rasa. Rasa, it means flavored. It means artificial or not from a real fruit, is from extraction or from powder. We have the rasa. Minuman rasa melon, melon flavored drink. It's not real made from melon, but it's can be from extraction or from the powder, chemical from the factory. Melon flavored drink. Minuman rasa melon, or minuman rasa nanas, pineapple flavored drink. But if it's made from real one, we change this into buah. We already learned about buah in the previous video. Buah, it means fruit. Minuman buah melon, minuman buah nanas. So in English it can be pineapple juice, but in Indonesia it becomes minuman buah nanas. In English can be melon juice. In Indonesia, minuman buah melon. Because to make it as juice, it has to be with the pulp, it has to be in this form, blender juice with the pulp. I keep repeating because I kind of find it's interesting. And then we also have syrup. In English, syrup. In Indonesian language, syrup. Syrup. You can use the rasa flavor, or you can skip the rasa flavored. Sirup rasa jeruk, or sirup jeruk, sirup rasa melon. So we add the rasa to make sure that it's artificial or it's made from extraction or not from a real fruit pulp, not from a fresh pulp. So we add the rasa, flavored. So I kind of find it's interesting. And in Indonesia, we also have air jeruk manis panas. Because sometimes the orange is not sweet, so we have to make sure if it's sweet, whether choose the sweet orange or add some sugar To make sure it's sweet, we say the manis, sweet. If you want to make sure also hot, we add the panas. Air, jeruk, manis, panas. That's why we don't say it as jus jeruk, because it's the water. It will be jus jeruk when we put it in the blender and we drink including the pulp. Jus jeruk. No pulp, air jeruk. Can we say air nanas? Can, but it's kind of like for culinary or when we have to make dessert or something with the water from nanas, from pineapple, we say it air nanas. Air melon, well, there's nothing wrong, say it that way, but it's kind of rare to say air melon for drink. Most of the time we say it minuman buah melon. But we rarely just drink the water, so we just say it with juice because it's this way. And then in Indonesia we also have coconut. If you have it in the package or packaging, I suggest you to try coconut, especially young coconut. Young is muda. Coconut is kelapa. The water is okay whether you drink the old or the young coconut. There's nothing wrong with it. But for the meat or the pulp from coconut, I think you better try the really young and the middle young coconut pulp. Because the old coconut is kind of not fun to be eaten. It's not fun, the old one. It's so hard and people make coconut milk from it most of the time. But young coconut or really, really young coconut or virgin coconut meat or pulp is really nice to try because it's different with the one from the packaging. Even though they said it's original or no artificial added, but it's different. So that's my suggestion. Sometimes we say it as air kelapa or air kelapa muda. Muda is young. We rarely say juice kelapa because it's not coconut juice because we don't put it in blender juice. Even though we say air kelapa with the pulp, not being blender, it's just being scraped a bit, we say it as air kelapa. And es kelapa or es kelapa muda, to make sure they add some ice to make it cold, cooler. And then sedotan, straw, sedotan. In English we have paper cup, but in Indonesia we are kind of rarely say paper cup. So most of the time we say it as gelas plastic. Even though it's made from paper, sometimes we just say it as gelas. Not specifically say the paper or kertas, we just say it as gelas. For disposable cup or disposable plastic cup or paper cup, we say it as gelas or gelas plastic. Even though we have specific word, it's not cup because it's glass. Cup is cangkir, but the form is glass, so it's gelas. Gelas plastic or only glass. powder, serbuk, serbuk. Sachet, the real or formal word is kemasan, but most people also say it as sachet or write it as sachet, but I put pink circle here because this is not a formal Indonesian word, but we use it most of the time, sachet. Or sometimes you might find we write it like this, but I also put circle because it's not a formal Indonesian word to say it. Sachet. Saset, we say it as sachet, or some people might say sachet. The formal one is kemasan. So sometimes you can see here we put syrup, or from the powder or serbuk it becomes minuman rasa based on the flavor of the powder. This one. Yeah. Sometimes we also have ice pop or ice lolly. In Indonesia is es. So when you say es jeruk, it can be like this, drink, orange juice with ice, es jeruk, but it also can be in this as lolly or ice lolly. It's not lollipop, it's ice lolly or ice with orange flavor, es jeruk, or ice lolly or ice in strawberry flavor, es strawberry. Melon flavor, es melon. Pineapple flavor, es nanas. Avocado flavor, es alpukat. But es kelapa muda most of the time in glass or in the coconut itself. But also some people also make ice lolly from coconut too. So we might say it as kelapa too. This one. Thank you.